I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Year 2007 has gone. A leader was born. His name was Commander Gen.YAHANNA. Here is on. New 7 has born. I took my oath, nigga, I swore that I.S.U.P.K is the only fucking way. One person's down until they benefit. Hennessy, Alexander, big bottle of scotch. Once you flip it, the block, it will be set up shop. I got to buy that cat, you run on to Sabbath. So hold your peace. When he speak, when he teach, before I reach for that peace and clear that street, I was never humble, always a beast. I let it fly for the most high, I was shy, never cool chain, homie. I'm that type of guy, and for the heathen, I'm the only one standing in this, you and I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K, 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 what? I.S.U.P.K, the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Yo, man. Yo, get back to that 1969 I.S.U.P.K shit, man. I want to hear that 1969 I.S.U.P.K. We the children of God. Yeah, SHALAM. And we only pray to Almighty Yahweh and do the commandments like the sun Yahweh shine. But if we soft, nigga, yeah, you could die. We not Christian, we don't believe all of everybody. If it ain't about the 12 tribes of everybody, then that's a statement. You need to stop hating. You can't prove we Africans, so stop debating. I was stuck in a hard place, a hard time behind the rock, thinking I was Muslim. Stop saying I.S.U.P.K, big homies is obvious. Battling evil. My bad bullshit is a woman, that's the secret of the year. Your philosophies can't crack that. Africa, mean black. Tell China out of that. Tell me like to cut the fuck line and pull the fuck back. You hear me, nigga? I'm with some real niggas at the Passover, nigga, drinking liquor. I.S.U.P.K. Shut down my shit. I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Year 2007 has gone. A leader was born. His name was Commander Gen.YAHANNA. Here is on. New 7 has born. I took my oath, nigga, I swore that I big bottle of scotch. Once you flip it, the block, I got to buy that cat, you run on when he speak, when he teach, for that peace and clear that street. I was never humble, always a beast. I let it fly for the most high, I was shy, never cool chain, homie. I'm that type of guy, and for the heathen, I'm the only one standing in this, you and I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. I.S.U.P.K, 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 the home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. Huh? I.S.U.P.K. What? I.S.U.P.K. Huh? The whole nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. The whole shit, your whole shop was up the back. Yo, man. Yo, get back to that 1969 I.S.U.P.K shit, man. I want to hear that 1969 I.S.U.P.K. We the children of God, yeah, SHALAM. And we only pray to Almighty Yahweh and do the commandments like it's on Yahweh. Shut down, YC. I.S.U.P.K. 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 The home started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K. 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 The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Year 2007 has gone. A leader was born. His name was Commander GEN.YAHANNA. Here it's on. New 7 has born. I took my oath, nigga, I swore to I.S.U.P.K. It's the only fucking way. One press to the death until they benefit. And I see Alexander, big bottle of scotch. Want to flip with the block, the where we set up shop. I catch a fire at camp, we run onto Zabiyah. So hold your peace. Of when he speak, of when he teach, before I reach for that peace and clear that street. I was never humble, always a beast. For the most high, I was shy, El Cool J, type of God. And for the heathen, I'm the only one standing. It's you and I.S.U.P.K. 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 The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K. 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 The home of the truth. Started out in one West, nigga. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. What? I.S.U.P.K. The home of the truth, nigga. Started out in one West, nigga. Your shop was up the back. Yo, man. Yo, get back to that 1969 I.S.U.P.K shit, man. I want to hear that 1969 I.S.U.P.K. We the children of God, yeah, SHALAM. And we only pray to Almighty Yahweh and do the commandments.
All right, Shalom Israel.
All right, Shalom.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakata to all the brothers, Yahweh Hashem Alatan, Hashem Yahushai to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer Matkoya, and today with me is
Priest and Officer Makakobal.
we're going to conduct the Sabbath service just as how the Lord had ordained the children of Israel to keep the Sabbath, right? So we're going to begin the Sabbath. We're going to be reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 32, right? Micah, first priest.
Micah, ban Banyamiam, ban Yashala.
Micah, ban Banyamiam, ban Yashala.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakata.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakata. Sir.
La Yashala, to Israel.
All right, men of Israel. Sir, let's turn on Physics. We're going to see the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Amanawa, Shama
Shemayah,
Kodash,
Aya,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Malapaka, Taba'a, Latazaka, Aya, Aisha, Baratiza, Kawa, Aya, Mashamaya, Natananaw, Nakam, Ka, Yawam, Masalakna, Masalakna, Wala'a, Tabianaw, Aisha, Abad, Oshina, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Laka, Malakwa, Wa'ala, Taparat, Leonio, Aman.
What we just said, the Lord's Prayer in English. O Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
We want to read now the Haka, the power, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Yahushua, Natananaw, Haka, Lapara, Wakal Marawo, Haka, Lataha, Hamatazariah, Haka, Lahakoya, Hamatia, Haka, Irapawa, Atamayal, Lagarushan, Hashem, Yahushai, Tawaraman.
What we just said in the English, Akak or the power, Yahweh, the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Yahushai, Wamakala, Walahaya, Matazavia, Alawak Salakia, Alahap Yam, Asaraniam, Hakwatazaniam, Hakayaliam, Wahawakiam, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Tawaraman.
What we just said, blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and the angel, commanding General Yohanna, the general, the captain, the officer, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
This is the blessed Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Raknawa, Shala, Saparium, Magan, Hashem, Yahushai, Tawaraman.
What you just said in the English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us, and Israel, and the school, bless, he, she, protect, our loved one, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha, Ayanya, Al-Hariyam, Ma'ayam, Yaba, Isaiah, Mayam, Yahweh, Aisha, Samayam, Waratiza, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawama, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Aliyah, Yamyanka, Yawama, Hashamash, La'a, Salakia, Yaka'a, Wayara, Bayala, Yahweh, Yashanka, Makalrai, Yashamar, Atanashwaka, Yahweh, Yashama, Tazawakwat, Wawaka, Maita, Wai, Alwalam.
What we just said in English, Psalms 121.
I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up my eyes.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Most
My
High.
help cometh from the Most
Which
High.
made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot.
He will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold, he that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Most High is thy keeper.
The Most High is thy keeper.
The Most High is thy shade.
The Most High is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee.
The sun shall not smite thee
By day. Nor the moon. By night.
By night.
The Most High shall preserve
The
thee.
Most High shall preserve
from all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Most High shall preserve thy going out.
The Most High shall preserve thy going
and
out
thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
Even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayom.
Alahayom.
Al Damayalka.
Al Damayalka.
Takarash.
Al Takarash.
Al Tashakwa.
Al Tashakwa.
Al Kayahana.
Al Kayahana.
Awa Yabaka.
Awa Yabaka.
Yahama.
Yahweh.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Raish.
Raish.
Al Maka.
Al Maka.
Yarai Yamwa.
Yarai Yamwa.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayatha.
Yai Tazawa.
Yai Tazawa.
Ai Tazawawan.
Ai Tazawawanka.
Amawa.
Amawa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanaka Yadam.
Wanaka Yadam.
Magawa.
Magawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazar Yazaka.
Yazaka.
Sham Yashal.
Sham Yashal.
Aiwada.
Aiwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Ai Tazawa.
Nawa Ai Tazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yaka Adwa.
Yaka Adwa.
Ailiaka.
Ailiaka.
Bariat.
Bariat.
Yaka Rathawa.
Yaka Ratwa.
Alia.
Alia.
Adamwa.
Adamwa.
Wa Shamai.
Wa Shamai.
Allah.
Allah.
Yam Mawa Abba.
Yam wa Abba.
Wahagaria.
Wahagaria.
Gabar.
Gabar.
Waimawan.
Waimawan.
Waimala.
Waimala.
Palasha.
Palasha.
Salakia. Yasabia.
Yashabia.
Tazawo.
Tazawo.
Gam Asawo.
Gam Asawo.
Nalawo.
Nalawo.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai. Laban Ya Lawa.
Laban Ya Lawa.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Aisha Laham.
Kamada Salakia. Kamadia.
Kamadia.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Kayabia.
Kayabia.
Barakal.
Barakal.
Kayash.
Kayash.
Salakia. Kayashwa.
Kayashwan.
Nasham.
Nasham. Sham.
Marwa.
Marwa.
Bayan.
Bayan. Bayan the Daira.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'ad Ama.
La'ad Ama.
Shayatham.
Shayatham. Shayatham. Shayatham.
Nada.
Nada.
Yab Mawa.
Yad Mawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Wakaza Abba.
Wakazaba.
Aka Zabak.
Akazaba.
Wakatazal.
Wakatazal.
Manai.
Manai.
Kal Nasa Yakamwa.
Kal Nasa Yakamwa.
Asha.
Asha.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Naya.
Naya.
Rasha.
Rasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Atha.
Ata.
Naawa.
Naawa.
Allah Hayam.
Alahayam.
Allah Hayam.
Alahayam.
Shaya.
Shaya. Shayatamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapan na Rakawa.
Yapanya na kwa.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Tabaira.
Tabaira.
Yaira.
Yaira.
Wakal. Lahaba.
Wakal Lahaba.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Parayam.
Parayam.
Kan.
Kan.
Tabaradampa.
Tabaradampa.
Basaraika.
Basaraika.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapataka.
Wapataka.
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyam.
Panyam.
Palawan.
Palawan.
Waya.
Waya.
Bakwasawa.
Bakwaswa.
Shaka.
Shaka.
Salakia. Shanka.
Shanka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashawa.
Yabashawa.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahalwa.
Bahalwa.
Idiyai.
Idiyai.
Waya.
Waya.
Kapawa.
Kapawa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abarwa.
Abadwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Daiwa.
Adaiwa.
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Aliwan,
Aliwan,
Alka, Salakia, Al-Kalha,
Al-Kala,
Arataza.
Arataza. What you just said in the English, keep not thou silent.
Keep not thou silent.
O Most High.
O Most High.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
Be not still.
O Most High.
O Most High.
For lo,
For lo,
thine
thine
enemy
enemy
maketh a moan.
maketh a moan.
They that hate,
They that hate,
the lifter of the head.
lift up the
They
head.
have taken crafty
They have
counsel
taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted
And consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come, let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
In the name of
In the name of
Israel.
Israel.
There be no more remembrance.
There be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted.
For they have consulted
together.
together.
One consent.
One consent.
They are confederate.
They are confederate
Against thee.
against
The tabernacles of Edom.
tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Moab.
The Hagarene.
The Hagarene.
Tubal.
Tubal.
Ammon.
Ammon.
Amalek.
Amalek.
Philistines.
Philistines.
With inhabitants of Tyre.
Inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur.
Assur.
Also. Is joined with
joined with
them.
them.
They have helped
They have helped
the children of blood.
children of blood.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
And the brook of
And the brook of
Kishon.
Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
perished at
They
Endor.
became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for
Made
the
their
earth.
nobles.
Made their nobles.
Like Oreb.
Like Oreb.
Like Zeid.
Like Zeid.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
As the Bar.
As the Bar.
And as the Lumna.
As the Lumna.
Said.
Said.
Let us take to
Let us
ourselves.
take to ourselves.
Houses of the Most High.
Houses of the Most
In
High.
possession.
In possession.
Oh my power.
Oh, my power.
Make them like a wheat.
Make them like a wheat.
As the stubble before
As
the
the
wind.
stubble before the
As
wind.
the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire
And
burneth
as
the
the
wood.
flame set the mountains on
And as the
fire.
flame set the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy temple.
With thy temple.
Make them afraid.
Make them afraid.
With thy store.
With thy store.
Fill their faces.
Fill their faces
with shame.
with shame.
And they may see.
And they may see
Thy name.
Thy name.
O Most High.
O Most High.
Let them be
Let them
confounded.
be confounded.
And troubled.
And troubled.
Forever.
Forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to
Let them
shame.
be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
Men may know.
That men may know.
That
That thou,
whose name alone is
whose name
Yahweh.
alone is Yahweh.
And the Most High.
And the Most High.
Over all you.
Over all the earth.
We're going to say the prayer of the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The name of Yahweh.
The name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and
Send
curses.
evils and curses.
And punishment and
And
destruction.
punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against
That
us.
speak against
Thy
us.
prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
Israelite brothers.
And the
And the
schools.
schools.
Send evils and
Send
curses.
evils and curses.
And punishment and
And
destruction.
punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The church of the rich.
The church of the rich.
Of Israel.
Of Israel.
That refuse to give to
That
the
refuse
schools.
to give to the schools.
Cause their riches.
Cause their riches.
Enter into thy
Enter
sanctuary.
into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And their drug
And their
dealers.
drug dealers.
The court system.
The court
The
system.
prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the government of our enemies.
All the government of our
Amalek
enemies.
synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and
Roman
armies.
Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam. Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux
Ku Klux
Klan.
Klan.
Aryan
Aryan
Nation.
Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Fuzzy Comitazi.
Comitazi.
Gay
Gay
movement.
movement.
Lesbian
Lesbian
movement.
movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of
Workers of
witchcraft.
witchcraft.
National Space
National
Program.
Space Program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air
Air Force.
Marine. Wall
Wall
Street.
Street.
Open up the
Open
internet.
up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airwaves.
Cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Any of thy people.
Of any of thy people.
That seek to stop
That
us.
seek to stop
And
us.
bring swift destruction.
destruction.
To all the heathen.
To all the heathen.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Try to stop us.
Try to stop us.
Broadcasting your word.
Broadcasting your
Show
word.
the planet
Show the
Earth.
planet Earth.
Let loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the
Cause
plagues.
them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
To the earth. And consume
And
them.
consume them.
Let the plague.
Let the plague.
Shake the house of the
Shake
king.
the house of the king.
And the murderer.
And the murderer.
At the house
At the house
Michael.
Michael.
And Gabriel.
And Gabriel.
And come with the flying
down with the flying
saucer.
saucer.
And punish all the heathen. And come up against us. As we speak thy word.
speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by all.
The angel that had done
The
it.
angel that had done
Cause
it.
it to be spread.
Cause it to be spread.
Through the media.
Through the media.
Show the whole
Show the
world.
whole world.
Cause them to shake and thy
Cause them
coming.
to shake and thy
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sir. All right, the Shabbat, which means to be seated. All right, so we're going to begin the reading from the book of Numbers.
Come on.
Chapter 31 and verse 13.
Come. The book of Numbers.
Yeah, so chapter 32 and verse 13. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 13. Waya kara apa Yahweh gaya shara Allah waya naima bama daya ara bayam shana aida sama kal hada wara Aisha harai ba'ai yana Yahweh. Verse 14. Wahana kwama tama taka abata yakum tara gawat ana shayam ayam la sapa wata aiwada ail kara wana Yahweh Allah Yasharala. Verse 15. Kaya tasha wabana ma'a kara yawa waya sapa selake yawasap aiwada laha naya kawa bama daba washa katham lakal ha'aima hazah. Verse 16. Waya gashawa Allah yawa waya amma rawa gada rata taza ana naba naha lama kwana nawa pa wa ai rayam lata panawa. Verse 17. Wa'a naka nawa waka lataza kasha wayam lapa naya banaya yashala aida asha amma haba ya anawam al makwa
Wama, Waya, Wayashaba, Tapa Nawa, Ba'ai Raya, Hama Bataza, Mapa Naya, Yasha Baya, Harataza, verse 18, La'a, Nasha, Waba, Ail, Batha, Yanawa, Aida, Batha, Naka, Mal, Banaya, Yashala, Ayasha, Yaka, Latawa, verse 19, Kaya, La'a, Nanaka, Atham, Ma'aiba, Laya, Radana, Radaina, Waya, La'a, Kaya, Baha, Nakala, Tanawa, Ma'aiba, Radana, Maza, Kaha. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 13. And the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation had done evil in the sight of the Lord was until all that had done evil in the sight of the Lord was consumed. Verse 14. Ye are risen up in your father's stead, an increase of sinful men, to augment yet the fierce anger of the Lord toward Israel. Verse 15. For if ye turn away from after him, he will yet leave them in the wilderness, and he shall destroy all and ye shall destroy all his people. Verse 16. And they came near unto him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our cattle, and cities for our little ones. Verse 17. But we ourselves will go ready armed before the children of Israel, until we have brought them unto their place, and our little ones shall dwell in the fenced cities because of the inhabitants of the land. Verse 18. We will not return unto our houses until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance. Verse 19. For we will not inherit with them on yonder side Jordan or forward, because our inheritance is fallen to us on this side Jordan eastward.
You understand? Most of Christ, and it's saying again, contrary to what the Christian church just teach, right? You're seeing what the Lord saying here, and the Lord's anger was kindled against the children of Israel. Contrary to what the Christian church will teach, that the Lord is all about love, you understand? And he loves everybody. You've seen where the Lord get angry with the children of Israel.
Right, come on.
You understand? And made them to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. The Lord do that. You understand? Paraphrasing scripture, just like when the Lord say, I kill and I make alive, by the Lord do all these things. It's the Lord who's doing that. You understand? Just like the coronavirus and many more things to come. You understand? Earthquakes, famines. You see the war going on in Ukraine. It's the Lord who's doing all these things. This is what we have to realize. And we as a people, when we're not living right according to the Most High, we're not functioning the way that He wants us to function, the Lord's anger is going to get kindled among us, among Israel. And this is what we have to know. You understand? When we go down Albert here, we say, and behold, ye are risen up in your father's stead, and increase of sinful men. You understand? And this is what we have to decrease in. We have to decrease in sinful men. We have to make sure, you understand, that this nation become a sinless nation.
That's right.
That is why we have the classes through the week. You understand? We have the Sabbath service, we have the scripture breakdown classes, and brothers will go out in the streets and prophesy the word of the Most High. You understand? To decrease Israel's sin.
That's right.
To the Most High. You understand? Going on, jumping down to verse 16, and they came near unto him and said, "We will build sheepfolds." Salakia, verse 15. "And if you turn away from him," you understand, "he will yet leave them in the wilderness, and he shall destroy all his people." And of course, we as a people, we didn't realize we're being destroyed because we're not in the right direction of the Most High. We're not following after the things that the Lord did on for us. This is what we have to understand as a people. And once you come back to actually do what in the Bible, not do what a Christian preacher say, we will be in right standing with the Most High. You understand? And we will get what the Most High have for us. You understand? Which is inheriting the kingdom of heaven, which is rightfully the children of Israel only, true Jews. I may want to add anything of Sakwa.
You can say to you know, just building on what you're saying, you know, talking about you know, the sin of Israel, and just as the general brought out recently, that we have to be at the highest moral standard right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
To show the Most High that, you know, Israel as a nation, a people, you know, really have the intent to change and not walk with that covering or that spirit of Christianity, the spirit of the so-called white man upon us. Because as when in the scripture they brought out earlier Arawan, Israel now wandered for 40 years, and when we sometimes wonder why Israel not progressing, you understand, it's because the foundations that he laid, the rules he laid now for we to come to a higher place, we're not exercising that in the way that it's supposed to be. You understand? And with that, it have a lot of problems. It come like Osagada was breaking on our class recently talking about following orders, and even Moses had stumbled on that in past times. Even David, when the Most High give orders now, Moses ended up fumbling. You understand? And Aaron now wasn't even there to really make him understand as a father. This is what the Lord, you know, really wants the nation to do. And it cost many Israelites their lives, even under David, with not many people. So as they rightfully bringing out, this is we brotherhood and foundations, keeping all the laws, commandments, and statutes of the Most High power. You know, yes, that's the one.
Come, cancel. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 20. Waya'a Mara Allah Yahayam Masha Amma Ta'ai Shawana Ata Hada Hadaba Haza Amma Taka Latazawa Lapa Naya Yahweh Lama Laka Hama, verse 21. Wa'aiba Lakom Kal Kala Wataza Ata Haya Radana Lapa Naya Yahweh Aida Hama Raya Shawa Ata Aya Bayawa Mapa Nayawa, verse 22. Wana Kaba Sha'a Ha'a Arataza Lapa Naya Yahawa Wa'a Kara Tasha Bawa Waha Yatham Nakwayam Maya Hawa Wama Yasha Wama Yasharala Waha Yatha Ha'arataza Hazata Lakam La'a
Kaza, Lapanya, Yahweh, verse 23. Wa'ama, La'a, Ta'aisha, Wana, Kan, Hana, Kata, Tama, Yahweh, Wada, Aiwa, Kata, Akam, Tama, Taza, Ata, Kam, verse 24. Banawa, Lakam, Irayam, Lata, Pakam, Wagada, Wagadara, Lataza, Nakam, Waha, Yataza, Mapa, Yakum, Ta'aishawa, verse 25. Waya, Ama, Banaya, Gad, Waba, Naya, Ra'awa, Bana, Ail, Masha, La'a, La'ama, Aiba, Dayaka, Wa'ai Shawa, Ka'asha, Mataza Wa'a, verse 26. Tapa Nawa, Washa, Yanawa, Makwa, Nanawa, Wakal, Baha, Matatanawa, Yahweh, Shama, Ba'ai Raya, Haga, La Aida. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 20. And Moses said unto them, if ye will do this thing, if ye will go armed before the Lord to war, verse 21, and will go, all of you armed over Jordan before the Lord until he had driven out his enemies before him, verse 22, and the land be subdued before the Lord, then afterward ye shall return and be guiltless before the Lord and before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before the Lord. Verse 23, but if ye do not so, behold, ye have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Verse 24, build you cities for your little ones, and folds for your sheep, and do that which hath proceeded out of your mouth. Verse 25, and the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spake unto Moses, saying, thy servants will do as my Lord commanded. Verse 26, our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our cattle shall be there in the cities of Gilead.
Right, and it's seen here again, just like the officer bring out a while ago with following the orders, they seen what the children of God and the children of Reuben told Moses, thy servants will do as my Lord commanded. You understand? Because as blacks and Hispanics growing up under the white man teachings, under the white man philosophies, you understand? It's do as you please, do what you want.
That's right.
You understand? But in the Lord's army, one thing we have to make sure we do is to follow order. You understand? And it's seeing here where your foreparents, your forefathers, leave the history for you to know. One thing we have to do is follow order.
That's right.
You understand? And that is pleasing in the eyes of the Most High. You understand? You see what the children of Israel were saying here? You understand, Salaki, right? Let me jump on this verse here. verse 21, right? And it's saying, and you will go and will go, all of you armed over Jordan before the Most High, until he had driven out all his enemies, showing you too that the Most High, he have enemies. Just like you read in the book of Psalms, you see what he's saying, and your enemies have made a tumult. They have hated, they have lifted up their head. We have to understand who is the Lord's enemies.
Wa aiba dayaka ya aiba rawa kal kalawa tazaba naya Yahweh lama laka ma'a ka'asha ada na ara. Verse 28. Waya tazawa lahama masha ata ala aiza haka hana wa ata Yahawashai bana nawa wa ata ra'ashaya naya ya shala. Verse 29. Masha Allah hama ama ya aiba rawa banaya gad waba naya ra'awa bana ata kam ata haya radana kala wataza lama lapa naya Yahweh wana yaba sha'a ha'a rarataza lapa nayakom wana tama lahama ata arataza haga la'aida la'a kaza wastati wa amma la'a ya aiba rawa kala watazayam ata kama wana aka zawa bata kama barataza kana aina. Verse 51. Waya ainawa banaya gad waba naya ra'a wabana la'a ama ata asha daba Yahweh al aiba dayaka kan na Aisha. Verse 32. Naka nawa na aiba kala wataza yaham lapa naya Yahweh arataza kana aina wa'a tanwa aka Za'ata, Naka, Latanawa, Ma'aiba, Laya, Radana, verse 33. Waya, Tana, Lama, Masha, Laba, Naya, Gad, Wala, Banaya, Wala, Katazaya, Shabbat, Wana, Sha'a, Ban, Yawasap, Ata, Mama, Laka, Saya, Kana, Maka, A'a, Maya, Wa'ata, Mamalaka, Wagaba, Malaka, Abba, Shana, Arataza, Yaha, Baga, Lata, Iraya, Arataza, Baya. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 27. But thy servants will pass over every man armed for war before the Lord to battle, as the Lord children of Israel. Verse 29. And Moses said unto them, if the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle, the land shall be subdued before you. Then ye shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. Verse 30. But if they will not pass over with you armed, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. Verse 31. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, as the Lord had said unto thy servants, so we will do. Verse 32. We will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, and the possession of our inheritance on this side Jordan may be ours. Verse 33. And Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, and to half of the tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Shion, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land with the cities thereof in the coast, even the cities of the countries round about. Verse 34. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aroah. That's the end of the study. Come. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 34. Waya, Banawa, Banaya, Gad, Atta, Daya, Bana, Wa'ata, Aita, Ra'ata, Wa'ata, Ira. Verse 35. Wa'ata, Aita, Rata, Wa'ata, Ya'aiza, Waya Gaba, verse 36. Wayata, Bayat, Nama, Ra'a, wa ata wa iraya maga magabataza waga bawana wa ata Allah Aila wa ata Kora Yata Yama, verse 38. Wa ata Nabawa wa ata Ba'aila Ma'ai Wawan Mawa Sabbath Shama wa Shabba Ma'a Awa Basha Mata Ata Shamawa Waya Lakad Masha Ata Haga La'aida Lama Kaya Bana Manasha Waya Shabba Baha. The book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse Salakia. Book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 35. And Arad and Sophan and Jazer and Jogbiah, verse 36. And Beth Nimrah and Beth Haran, fenced cities and holes for sheep, verse 37. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon and Eliah and Kiratajim, verse 18. And Nebo and Baal Meon, their names being changed, and Shebna, and gave other names unto the cities which they built. Verse 39. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it, and disposed the Amorite which was in it. Verse 40. And Moses gave Gilead unto Machir, the son of Manasseh, which dwelt therein. Verse 41. And Jair, the son of Manasseh, went and took the small towns thereof, and called them Havajah. That's the end of verse 41.
We see in here, again, just like Moses said, when you go back to verse 29, and Moses said unto them, if the children of God and the children of Reuben will pass with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle before the Lord. You understand, ladies and women? The Lord is not about hugs and kisses. You understand? You have to go to battle to push away enemies to get land. You understand? And it's seen where they went and battled, and they got the land, they split up the inheritance and stuff like that. You understand? You understand? So we need to continue reading again.
Come on. The book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 42. Wana Boka Alaka Waya Lakada Ata Kwanata Wa'ata Bana Taya Waya Kwara Laha Nabaka, Basha, Mawa. The book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 1. Alaha, Masa, Aya, Banaya, Yashala, Asha, Yataza, Awa, Ma'a, Rataza, Mataza, Rayam, Matazarayam, Lataza, Ba'a, Atom, Bayad, Wa'a, Harana. Verse 2. Waya, Kata, Masha, Atta, Mawa, Mawa, Taza, Ayaham, Lama, Sa'ai, Yaham, Ail, Paya, Yahweh, Wa'ala, Masa, Ayaham, Lama, Wataza, Ayaham. Verse 3. Waya, Sa'aiwa, Mara, Masa, Baka, Dasha, Mara, Asha, Wana, Baka, Masha, Aisha, Yawam, Laka, Dasha, Hara, Asha, Wana, Mamaka, Ra'ak, Hapa, Saka, Yataza, Awa, Banaya, Yashala, Baya, Da'a, Rama, La'ai, La'ai, Naya, Kal, Matazarayam. Verse 4. Goma, Makwa, Bara, Yama, Ata, Asha, Haka, Yahweh, Bahama, Kal, Baka, Bara, Yashala, Basa, Kata. Verse 6. Waya, Sa'aiwa, Masa, Ka'ata, Waya, Kanawa, Ba'atam, Asha, Bakwataza, Hama, the Ba. The book of Numbers, own name. The book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 1. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt. And Moses wrote their going out Verse 3. And they departed in the day of the first month on the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with an high hand in the sight of the Egyptians. Verse 4. For the Egyptians buried all their firstborn, which the Lord had smitten among them, upon their gods. Also the Lord executed judgment. Verse 5. And the children of Israel removed from Ramses and pitched tents in Succoth. Verse 6. And they departed from Succoth and pitched in Etham, which is the edge of the wilderness.
Right, and it's seen here where Israel, the different journeys that they made.
Right.
You understand, from city to city. It's seen whereby the Lord smote all the firstborn of the Egyptians. This is the Lord that we serve. You understand? This is the king this is the king we serve, the Lord, the Most High.
Right.
You understand? That put death to all the firstborn. That make me remember when the you understand? Because it's the Lord who doing it. The Lord can make the coronavirus hit a certain demographic of people.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Or jump in a certain area only, because even when before we had to the Passover, you see whereby when the plagues was taking Egypt, we was next door.
That's right.
And nothing was happening to the children of Israel.
God.
You understand? And this is the power we serve. This is what our people have to know. Once they know the power that they serve, you understand? And the things that He's going to do for you, even in the state that you're in. When I say in the state that you're in, once you come out of that state, and start to understand, hey, we have to serve the Most High power, you get through. You're going to see things turn. Things will not be better for the children of Israel, for the nation of Israel. You understand? If you're on that end, you know that power.
Yeah, can just a bit on what you're saying there, you know what I mean? So that's so on point. The scriptures, also showing you the only how this does really work, as General always bringing out, it's through that brotherhood, through following orders, right? Because we see it even in the first passage of scripture, that is 33 and 1, right? Where the saying that the armies came out under the hand of Aaron and Moses, right? So it's showing it had a structure in place where Moses and Aaron was the two men, heading the armies, right? You understand? And even verse 2, right? And Moses wrote their goings out according to the journeys by the commandment of the Most High. So it's showing you that this rank order, right, except from the Most High all the way down, right? Because the head of Israel, being Moses, he was taking instructions from the Most High and trickling these instructions down. You understand? To make sure that brotherhood, right, and order remain among the ranks in the nation of Israel, to make us not be able to navigate, through the path we are the heathen, right? That's what I wanted to answer that question. Yeah, come on.
Come on, cancel. The book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 7. Wayasa, Iwa, Ma'a, Tama, Wayashaba, Il, Paya, Haka, Yaratha, Asha, Il, Panya, Ba'ila, Tazapa, Wana, Waya, Kanawa, Lapa, Naya, Maga, Dala. Verse 8. Waya sa Iwa, Mapa Naya, Haka, Yaratha, Waya, Aiba, Rawa, Bata, Waka, Hayam, Hama, Deba, Ra'a, Waya, Laka, Lakawa, Dara'aka, Shala, Sha'ata, Yama, Bama, Daba, Atam, Waya, Kanawa, Bama Ra'a. Verse 9. Waya Sa'aiwa, Mamaraha, Waya Ba'awa, Aya Lama, Waba Yalam, Shata, Yama, Aisha. Aya, Natha, Mayama, Washa, Ba'ayam, Tama, Rayam, Waya, Kanawa, Shema, verse 10. Waya, Sa'aiwa, Ma'a, Yalam, Waya, Kanawa, Ail, Yawam, Sa'aipa, verse 11. Waya, Sa'aiwa, Mayam, Sawak, Wa Ya, Kanawa, Bama, the Ba, Sayana, verse 12. Waya, Sa'aiwa, Mamada, Ba'a, Bara, Sayana, Wana, Kanawa, Bada, Pakwa, verse 13. Waya, Sa'aiwa, Wada, Pakwa, Waya, Kanawa, Ba'a, Lawasha. The book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 7 in English. Come on. And they removed from Etham and turned again to Phetharoth, which is before Baal Zephon, and they pitched before Migdol. Verse 8. And they departed from Phetharoth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, and went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham, and pitched in Marah. Verse 9. And they removed from Marah and came unto Elim, and in Elim were 12 fountains of water, and 60 and 10 palm trees, and they pitched there. Verse 10. And they removed from Elim and encamped by the Red Sea. Verse 11. And they removed from the Red Sea and encamped in the wilderness of Sin. Verse 12. And they took their journey out of the wilderness of Sin and encamped in Dopka. Verse 13. And they departed from Dopka and encamped in Elush. The book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 14 in the Hebrew. Waya Sa'aiwa Lawasha Waya Nawa Bara Payadam Wala'a Shama Mayam La'aima Lasha Tawata, verse 15. Waya Sa'aiwa Waya Kanawa Bama Sa'aiwa Mamada Bara Saya Kanawa Bakwa Rata Hata, verse 17. Sa'aiwa Makwa Barata Hata Awa Aya Waya Kanawa Baka Tazarata, verse 18. Waya Sa'aiwa Maka, Tazarak, Waya, Kanawa, Bara, Tama, Waya, Sa, Mara, Maratama, Waya, Kanawa, Bara, Mana, Parataza. Verse 20. Waya, Sa'aiwa, Mara, Mana, Parataza. Waya, Kanawa, Bala, Bana. Book of Numbers, chapter 33 and verse 14 in the English. And they removed from Alush and encamped in Rahidim, where was no water for the people to drink. Verse 15. And they departed from Raphidim and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai. Verse 16. And they removed from the desert of Sinai and pitched in Kebarotov. Verse 17. And they departed from Kebarotov and encamped from Rithma and pitched in Rimmon Perez. Verse 20. And they departed from Rimmon Perez and pitched in.
Right, and you see where Israel, this is just showing you all the journeys that Israel made. You understand? You see where they dwelt in different cities, dwelt among different nations, like for example, the Chinese. You understand? They also dwelt on the plain of the Chinese. You understand? And they're just showing you where Israel make different journeys through the wilderness.
Right.
You understand? Right up to the point where Aaron died. I mean, we reached there yet, but from here, you're going to see right up to the point before Aaron died. You understand? And again, to all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, all forefathers leave records for us to follow. You understand? There are many things for us to do. It's not about going to church, jumping, dancing, singing, beating tambourines, and doing all kind of madness. It's not about that. Our forefathers leave the Bible, which is our history, you understand, and our records for us to follow. And they will not learn the things that they're supposed to do that is pleasing to the Most High in the Christian church. Because all what they're learning in the Christian church, leaders in the Christian church learned it from their oppressor. You understand? And you just following in the footsteps, going to continue learning what your oppressor taught them from generations coming on. What we have to understand, you're going to learn your history. When you open this Bible, you understand? And being taught by men before you, who has been doing this since 1969. And I could only find these men in the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General Yahanna.
Right.
You understand? I make you want to add anything before you close off, Officer?
Yeah, cannot answer to what you know, because just as you rightfully say the other one, you know, because all Blacks, Native Indians, and Hispanics have to realize and remember that the most important thing for us is obeying the laws of the Most High. And that is where we brotherhood going to spring from.
Right.
You know what I mean? And getting the truth in the I.S.U.P.K. You know, because outside of the truth, you ain't guarantee nothing. And then here you have to come and fight. You know what I mean? Because you was given mercy from the Most High. And by the grace of the Most High, we'll get the opportunity to hold this kingdom again. You know what I mean? So we're really racing after, right, is to endure. You understand? In righteous works. You understand? And show the Most High, you know, that this chance that you give to me, you understand, as one of your chosen people,
right? That,
you know, in some way or form, you know, we might be worthy of mercy and worthy of grace and worthy of second chances. You understand? So that is what we must understand, that the only way we can start on that road is getting into the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General Yahanna, right? Getting on as Professor Makwaya rightfully mentioned, getting on that teachers, right, that will teach you. You know what I mean? So you must come and sit down and learn.
Right.
You understand? From men before you, right? How you must function, right? How you must conduct yourself, right? The way to execute and follow orders, right? Master, as best as we could, righteousness, you understand, and morality. Because that is what will take you from that dark place, or I should say, remove that covering and the oppressor from upon all Blacks, Native Indians, and Hispanics. Right? Yeah, so what that says.
And Musa and Christ.
Yeah, Musa and Christ.
Right? And with that, we say, Madam. Sir. Sir.
La Yasharala to Israel.
All right, sir.
We will be giving the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Amanawa,
Amanawa,
Shabbat Shamaya,
Shabbat
Sadat, Haya, Shemka, Yahawa, Sabbath, Zaka, Haya, I.S.U.P.K, Barat, Kawa, Haya, Shamaya, Tanalaw, Wam, Salakna, I'll shine out. Mayan, right, Malakwa, Allah,
What you just said in English, oh Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, the power, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
The I.S.U.P.K with power, Yahweh, I.S.U.P.K, Yahushai,
What you just said in English, Yahweh, the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power to heal, all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the leper, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, cast them out, in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you. So be it. Lessons in the Hebrew. Rakata Yahweh,
Yahushua,
Amakala, Walaya, Zabia, Al-Wapia, Sarania, Wahawatia, Yahweh, Yahushai, Warama.
What you just said in English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, Michael, the angel, the man general, captain, officer, troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you.
So be it. Bless Israel, Yahweh, I.S.U.P.K, Yahushai, SHALAM, Barak, Rapa, Magan, I.S.U.P.K, Yahushai, Warama.
What we just said in the English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us, and the school, bless, shield, protect, our loved one, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha, Yanya, Al, Arayam, Mayan, Yaba, Zaira, Ayam, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Warataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Galka, Al, Salakia, Al, Yanawam, Shamarka, Anan, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shamawo, Gashala, Yahweh, Shamaka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Aliyad, Yamyanka, Yamawam, Ashamash, La'a, Laka, Wayarak, Malayala, Yahawa, Yashanka, Makalrai, Yashama, Athanashpaka, Yahawa, Yashamar, Tazaka, Wabawaka, Maithia, Waid, Ireland. What you just said in English. Psalms 121. I will lift up mine eyes. Unto the hills. Whence cometh my help? Help coming from the Most High. Made heaven and earth. You will not suffer thy foot to be moved. You shall keep thee. Not slumber. Lo, you shall keep it Israel. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Most High thy keeper. Most High thy shade. Upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor move by night. Most High shall preserve thee from all evil. You shall preserve thy soul. Most High shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore.
Psalms 83, the Hebrew, Alahayam, Al-Damalaka, Al-Takarash, Wal-Tashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Awayaba, Awayaka, Yama, Yawan, Raish, Al-Maka, Yarai, Salakia, Yarai, Yamawa, Sawada, Wayatha, Yai Tazawanka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanaka, Kadam, Magawaya, Wala'a, Yazaka, Shamya, Iwada, Ya, Nawatai Zawa, Laba, Laka Ailiaka, Maria, Yaka, Adwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Washamai, Ayla, Yam, Mawa, Abba, Wahagariam, Gabal, Waimawan, Malak, Palashat, I'm Yeshabia, as a war, Gamasawa, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Laban, Yalawa, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Shara, Kayabian, Manakal, Kayash, Salakia, Kayashwan, Nasham Marwa, Bayan Darai, Hayawa, Laman, La Harama, Sayathamwa, Nada Yab Mawa, Kairab, Wakazal Abia, Wakazab Wakatazal, Manai, Kal Nasayam Amwa, Asha, Amawa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ata, Naawat, Alahayam, Shatamwa, Kagal, Kakash, Lapanyam, Waka, Kaash, Tabaira, Yaira, Wakalahaba, Talaha, Harayam, Khan, Tarad, Dapama, Masharaika, Wabasa, Wapataka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Payam, Salakia, Panayam, Palawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka,
Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahalwa, Ayai, Kapowa, Waya, Abarwa, Waya, Daiwa, Kaya, Ata, Sumka, Yahweh, Labaka, Aliwam, Al Kalha,
Arataza. What we just said in English, Psalms 83. Keep not thou silent, O Most High. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O Most High. For lo, thine enemy, make a tumult. They that hid, have lifted up the head. Have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden one. They have said, Come, let us cut them off. Be in a nation, and the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have not consulted together. One consent. They are confederate. Against thee, Tabernacles of Edom, Ishmael, Moab, Amorim, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistine, the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur, also, destroying with them. They have all children of Lot, Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, to Jabin, and the brook of Kison, shall perish at Endor, became as dung for you. Make them noble, correct, Seir, all the princes, I.S.U.P.K, and Azazumna, who said, let's take to ourselves, houses of the Most High, in possession. Oh my power, make them like weed, stubble before the wind, the fire burns the wood, and the flames set in the mountains of fire. So persecuted with thy temper, make them afraid, with thy storm. Fill their face with the shade. They may seek thy name, Most High. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. Men may know, and thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, Most High. All you. I'm going to say the prayer of the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, all things living. Yahweh, name of Yahweh, listen to us now, right now. From evils and curses, punishment and destruction. To the heathen, speak against us, thy prophets, the teacher, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the schools. From evils and curses, punishment and destruction. To the heathen, shake loose, treasure of the rich, of Israel, refuse to get to the school, force their riches, enter into thy sanctuary, and evils and curses, and punishment and destruction. The Elamite, the nation, the drug dealer, the court system, prison systems, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogue and army, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, the Catholic militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, Skinheads, Quasi-Comitatus, gay, lesbian, spies, workers of Israel, National Space Program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airways, cable access channel, and the radio channel, and with the spirit, any of thy people to stop us, bring self-destruction, all the heathen, stand in the way, try to stop us, casting your words, show the planet Earth. Use all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro, to the earth, consume them, and the plague shake, also the thief, and the murderer, Yahweh, Michael, Gabriel, come down with the flying saucer, and punish all the heathen, come up against us, and to speak thy word, cause it to be known by all, the angel that has done it, cause it to be spread, to the media, show the whole world, and to shake that I come, in the name of Yahweh, thank you all. So be it. Sir. Men of Israel, let's give the teacher one courtesy salute. I Madam Shabbat. I Madam Barak. Let's give the sisters online one courtesy salute. I Madam Shabbat. I Madam Barak. Dismiss. Yes,